Tasha. Thanks very much for coming on the Do It Now podcast. Really appreciate it. So we'll just get cracking into the questions if that's good with you. I know you've had a wee look over them. So introductions, who are you? What line of business are you in? And what area does your business operate geographically?
So obviously I'm Tasha and I run Fit Buddies Training Co. and I'm also known as Natasha Fit. We run in Glasgow, the south side. Basically a boot camp, outdoor boot camp, like a kind of community thing. We're not really so much of a business, but more kind of like we run it through passion, I would say. It just started off as a group of girls in the park and we're now 9 years down the line and we're still going, so...
Brilliant, powered by passion.
That's it, yeah.
Maybe they're the best things. I've seen it online, obviously, seen it through my wee sister's Facebook page, and you were pounding everybody in the park and getting everybody. I think you've done a couple of challenges as well, didn't you? Like people.
21-day app challenge, and we done another one that was during the lockdown. There was a 28-day challenge as well, and quite a lot of people I didn't know just joined the group. Got quite a lot of people involved in it, so it was good through lockdown. I think it gave people a lot of motivation and the drive to, stay getting fit even through the lockdown, so it was good. I enjoyed it, yep.
Certainly did. I was watching it, when I seen it online, I was thinking to myself, good honour kind of thing, because it was a hard time for everybody. I'll need to come down myself sometime. Is it just for girls, Tasha? No?
It is all girls, but males are welcome, but kind of more girls tend to kind of turn up.
Anything specific you do that would put off males coming? Is that a kind of female?
Maybe just that it is mainly females that are there, and then they're like, oh, all right. But I mean, I have had males come, but I don't know. Maybe I intimidate them.
I need to come and put that to the test, see if I feel intimidated. I'll be there at some point, so I will. When do you hold your classes?
We actually just do it outside. We do it at an industrial estate down in Boland. We've kind of moved a couple of times the location. As I said, we started off in a park. We then had a field which we turned into a full obstacle course. That was brilliant. That was definitely the days. We got, you name it, we had it. None of it was, conventional gym equipment. We basically used anything that we could find, we turned into a workout. Obviously, if you look back, if you get a chance, you can look back and see what I'm talking about. You get the kind of idea of it, but it was brilliant. We had to move a few years after that, and we went to a school, so we used school premises, and then gradually we kind of moved closer to where I kind of stay. We did use Boyston Road Park for a while, but then we kind of found this wee hidden gem of a car park, which has got quite a good layout, so we decided to just stick with that, and it's quite close to mine, so if we're taking anything round, then it's a short journey. Normally we would use equipment. Obviously, since the first lockdown, we've not used any kind of equipment. We've sort of stuck to just mainly body weight, but when we do use equipment, it tends to be tyres, kegs, scaffy poles, not your standard. So it's handy for me, so I like it.
Sounds good fun, Tasha. So it does. I've actually seen these with the big tyres, the tractor tyres, the videos. You said you did a salt course set up as well in a field.
It's actually quite funny because me and my cousin were still training together in a park, as I said, and she had this field sitting right at her doorstep, obviously at her back garden, and it was derelict. It was, the grass had turned to hay, the field was a total mess, and I kind of messaged her on the Friday. She'll tell you this is not a word of a lie. And I said, right, I've been thinking, and she's like, oh, what are you thinking now? Obviously knowing that I'm a crazy cat. And I said, we could use your field and turn it into a boot camp. And she's like, oh, right, okay. So she kind of agreed half-heartedly. 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, ask her, this is true, 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, I turned up at her door. And she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, right, come on, let's get cracking. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, we're going to start a boot camp in your field and we're going to start it now. She's like, what do you mean now? And I said, we're going to get it up and running, we're going to get going. So we spent that weekend cleaning it up, get rid of all the hazards that were on the grass. So obviously there was stuff just lying about. And by the following Sunday, we done our trial run, and by the Monday morning we had maybe a group of 6 to 8 people at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning in that field.
That's awesome.
So
that's
brilliant. It was
brilliant.
basically, we started off originally with 4 tyres, 2 cones, a couple of scaffold poles and a plank of wood, and we had old 5-litre jugs. We just filled them with water. I don't know what it was, but it was one of those ones where I just says to myself, we can do this out of nothing, and we did. And we actually got quite a good turn up. I was even shocked myself. It was like, the very beginning of January, it was freezing, it was pitch black. But anyway, the girls that came with me, they came and, they gave me the motivation to keep it going. And once you get a couple of people coming and they come back, you think, all right, okay. So from then, we obviously just made it better and better and better. And by the April of that year, we actually ran mini fielders. So we had a group of kids that came, and we had a cargo net for them to go under. We had made this ramp for them to run up out of an old door frame. We had a bed for a chin-up bar. Oh man, honestly, we had we made some amazing memories in that field. We became a family in that field.
Tasha, can I ask you, do you have a fitness background, or you like torturing people?
I kind of like the torture, and yeah. Well, see, this was the thing. When I started doing Fit Buddies, what it was I was getting made redundant from my job. I worked in the co-op, and redundancies were coming. And at that particular time, my partner was getting really fit, and he had began to box. So he was getting really fit, and obviously I had our 3rd child, and I was a wee bit dumpy. So I started cycling to and from work. And when I knew that I was getting made redundant, I decided, right, okay, I'm maybe going to start doing a couple of fitness classes. I've always been quite into fitness, I was like the 17-year-old lassie jumping about with a football strip on, still out playing with all the boys,
Right.
So I'm a bit of a tomboy anyway, and I definitely like, working out. So we decided that I would do that, and I had my cousin, another girl that I had asked, and another girl, they wanted to take part in it. It was basically, you could bring your child, so it was like mum's in the park, you could bring your child, and it wasn't a problem for children to be there, they well we worked out. So that was kind of how it started, because I knew I was getting made redundant. For a good couple of years after that, I just kind of went, right, okay, I'm going to have to keep working at this. A lot of people say to me, why don't you get qualified and work in a gym? But I didn't want to work in a gym. I like outdoor. I've always liked the outdoors. I don't want to be stuck in a hot building. It's just the way I am. We've done loads of different things, and outdoors just works better for me, and I didn't want to be confined to working in a gym. I have obviously worked with ladies one-to-one, which I enjoy. It's definitely the group atmosphere and the group feel that, keeps us all together. We're all motivated. Somebody can turn up and if it's a bad day, we'll all have a chat about it, we'll let them have a moan, and then we work out, and everybody just kind of feels better, and you just feel like you're a part of a family. Do you know what I mean? It's, you're not going to get that one-on-one. You're going to talk, but you're not going to get the, we motivate. If
there's other people there, you try harder. If you've got competition, like a bit of competition at times is good. I also like the idea of working outdoors as well, because it almost gets to the mindset where the gym's the only place to get fit, when really it's in your house, it's out your back door, it's everywhere. I love the ideas that you've set up, just using outside to do different courses and stuff like that. Sounds like brilliant fun. Did you get any kickback for the council or any cleaning or not like that?
We always we've always been quite safe, if you know what I mean. Not safe as in what we were using, obviously, because at times I'm like, well, that was probably a health and safety hazard. But we've always been quite respectful. So Aloe used to train at 5:30 in the morning, or 5:15 it was, If we were training at that time in the morning, we would obviously remain very quiet. There was no, the shouting. Like obviously I like to use my voice when it's night time and I can get away with it, but we always were quite respectful. We had the community wardens come round one morning when we were at the school, but they just asked us what we were doing, took a look at what we were doing. It was pretty obvious what we were doing, and they just said that's fine. We drove away. They weren't, there was no problem with it. We weren't causing any disturbance. It was just that they obviously kind of heard a bit of movement or maybe, and they were just checking that area, but we've never had any problem, no. During lockdown, the classes online, somebody did complain about my music, but that was about it.
Right. See, how did it initially start, Tasha? Like the beginning of it, your very first thoughts of I'm going to do this. I know you said it was just a group of lassies in a park, and but how did you actually go about going, right, I'm setting this up and turning it into a thing?
Well, initially my idea was, when I found out I was getting made redundant, I was thinking that I was going to do maybe a mobile service to get out to people that didn't feel comfortable going to a gym. And I thought, right, okay, well, obviously you could just, get sort of clients and you could mobilely go to their homes. I don't really know then, it just got to the point where I think because I wasn't fully qualified, this began to feel a wee bit like, maybe that's not a good idea. Obviously because it's insurance and stuff that you need. For the record, I'm qualified now, and I have studied as well. So, but again, it still doesn't interest me to be working in a gym. And then I messaged a few of the girls and they all said, oh yeah, let's do it. And we went to the park and we kind of done a few classes in there, and it wasn't busy, but it was, busy enough to keep you motivated into doing it. And then once we started the boot camp up in the field, we were doing that Monday morning, Wednesday morning, Friday morning, and then Tuesday evening and Thursday evening. And from there on, it was just like, right, okay, well, we're going to continue this now, no matter what. Myself and another girl, we done it for quite a long time. She always came with me. We kind of done it together. It was quite good because if I couldn't make it, she would step in.
Right.
You get lots of people that come and fall away from it, but then you get the people that return, and then you get the people that have stuck with you. So a lot of people I've been quite fortunate, a lot of people have stuck with me, and that just makes you want to continue it no matter what. 4 years ago, obviously, when things weren't going that great, it can come into winter, people don't want to get out of their bed, they don't want to, and obviously I wasn't qualified. I did take on a wee part-time job. That was just like, right, I'm going to take on a wee job and I'll just do this for kind of more for fun, to keep myself fit and the girls that have been with me fit or whatever. And then I ended up unexpectedly fell pregnant with my fourth child. So I think at that point I kind of felt like, oh, this is it, I'm going to have to give this up now. And it was obviously quite, disheartening. I was like, oh, I'm just going to end up like kind of fat, and I don't know if I'll get my body back, and it's number 4 and life's changing. And I kind of felt a wee bit down about it, if I'm honest. And obviously I had to stop, and I stopped quite early on in my pregnancy because I think I was a wee bit right. But after I had Joseph and I kind of started training myself again, I don't know, I just found this. It was like, right, okay, I'm going to get back to this and I will be back out there. And a lot of the girls had kind of like gave me a lot of banter that, oh, how are you going to feel when you lose your abs? So I was always going on about your abs and whatever else, right? And I was thinking, I can't believe this, I'm actually going to lose these abs. It was like my pure point of, work out and get abs like mine. And I thought, right, okay. And I don't know, they all just encouraged me. They slagged me off and they gave me it was like a kind of reverse psychology, like, all right, we'll bam her up a wee bit and she will come back. And then it became a challenge. So the challenge was get your abs back. And then obviously that was it, I was back. So I came back to work off maternity leave. And I started my evening classes again. So that was Tuesday and Thursdays. And then lockdown hit. So obviously I went into lockdown from my job, so I decided, right, okay, I'm going to do a free 11:30 live every day. So we've done that for 4 months. And then obviously lockdown lifted. So now we only actually run on a Tuesday evening. But obviously it's been, touch and go whether or not you can get out or not. So we just, it's really one of those ones where every time you think, all right, this is time, I'm going to have to kind of stop doing this, something in the back of your mind just says, no, like, this is life, this is like, I don't know, it's like, I do it because I love it. I'm not doing it because of any other reason. I do it because I love what we get out of it, like.
Just thinking that.
No, I couldn't. Like, we're just.
Obviously, we were talking before, and you're working as well as running Fit Buddies, and then obviously you've got your kids as well. So, like that, it's a lot. You're keeping it going. It's enough between obviously working and keeping your kids. I know it's like watching my wee sister because I don't have any kids myself, but it's a lot of work. You get up early in the morning as well, don't you? 5:30. You just mentioned there you do your classes sometimes.
For years we've done it at 5:30 in the morning. That was the morning slot. When I started working, I only done the evenings. That was Tuesday and Thursday. But now that we do the online classes, I actually get up at 10 to 4, and I take the class from 5:15 to 6 o'clock, and then I start my shift, and then I go home, and then I start obviously my life job, my home job, I should say.
Get the kids up and stuff.
So it's definitely just running on double shot espressos, and yep.
It makes me feel nauseous thinking about it. I got up at 5:30, and it just makes me feel a wee bit better about my mornings now that I know there's somebody up before it. Probably put in a workout as well before I've even got out of my bed. I'm going to go back to just have a wee look at the questions, Tasha, and see. Can I ask you about your first job?
My first job is when I left school was I worked in Greg's.
Right, okay.
The one at Cartston had just opened, and I was a sales assistant in there, so I was in there for 5 years, I think it was, or not in that one, but I was with the company for 5 years.
Right. Did you have a six-pack then? Did you have a six-pack then?
No, I did not.
We're hard to have a six-pack working for Greg's. Do you say you were in there for 5 years?
5 years I was in there.
5 years.
And then I worked in the co-op for 4, and then obviously it made me and now I've been in this job that I'm in now for the past 4 years.
Did you enjoy any of the jobs? The Greg's and the co-op?
It's really fast paced, it was very busy. I got on with everybody. I definitely, met a good few friends in there, so yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. The co-op, that was just pretty similar. Actually, that was quite good because we used to work with Tash's, that was down the stairs. You used to bring all the stuff from down the stairs up the stairs, or vice versa, up the stairs, down the stairs. So what I used to do is I used to get ankle weights, and I used to strap them to my legs. I know this is ridiculous, honestly. And I used to get wrist weights, and I would strap them. And the reason why I done that was because after I had Tammy, that's my second child, I fell pregnant quite quickly with my third child. And it was after that I noticed my body had not bounced back the way it had done before. So I'm going to have to work at this. And I remember I used to weigh myself, and I was sitting at 9 stone 6, and I sat there for months, and I just was like, oh, this is not shifting. And I thought, right, okay. From now on, when I work that chill and do that stock, I'm going to use this to my advantage. So I got myself some weights, strapped them on, and that was it. And I knew I was getting made redundant, and I had already decided kind of in my mind that I was going to go abroad for a wee while without going out and rushed into taking a job, purely because I felt like you're just a number in a job, and I kind of wanted to go alone for a wee while. Mm-hmm. I started doing maybe like 500 squats a shift. So I'd sneak out the back and I'd be squat, and the manager would be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, building my legs. I think people still thought I was absolutely nuts. But
See the two jobs. The first one's a Co-op and Greg's. I know they're kind of big companies and a lot of people work for them. But did you learn anything for there? Is there anything you'd say you took for the jobs?
I was always quite shy. So as a child, so like I used to not really be able to pick up a phone. In Greg's, I ended out, I got trained up to be like the supervisor, and I used to open up and shut the shop, which then meant you had to be able to use the phone. So I did learn, quite a bit in there. I got given quite a lot of responsibility. I was quite young when I got the responsibility, which was good because it showed that people had trust in me. That probably gave me a bit of confidence. Moving forward from it though, I also found that when I went into my next job, I didn't want responsibility, if that makes sense, because obviously I had a family and, in a job, you might get the title, but you're not really valued, I don't feel. And I don't really feel like you're valued in any job. As I've got older and done more jobs, I don't really feel like you are. I feel like you can give so much to an employer, and no matter what you're willing to give, you're a number. You're a way of them making money effectively. And that's kind of the way I see it now when I come into other jobs. When I started in this job, I said to myself, no matter what you get asked to do your job that you've agreed to do, but never take on any extra responsibility. And like obviously I work Monday to Friday, so they're always looking maybe for people to fill in at the weekend. I've never once agreed to do it. And the reason why is because that's my time. And I'm not prepared to give more, because if something was to, heaven forbid, happen to me tomorrow, they would have replaced me within a week. We are replaceable because it's not it's not, we might be helping them make their money, but we're not. I don't feel like you're valued within a company. So for me, I wouldn't go and work in a gym unless it was my gym, and I wouldn't go and work for somebody doing fitness unless it was mine. And I think that's why I'm still just doing what I'm doing, because I'm not in a position and I've not, done well enough to do that. So for me, I don't want to ruin it and ruin my love for fitness by going and becoming unhappy. That I love what I do, so I'm not, I don't want to jeopardise it to do it for somebody else and become unhappy. I would rather do it for myself.
Would you think it would be a fair analysis to say that you learnt your worth, or you kind of found your worth at Greg's and the other place? Because I can kind of understand what you're saying there, where the more responsibility you give, and you'll probably get more pressure and the wad on wee bits, but you'll never get the gratitude, you never get the wage rise, you never get the well dones, the congratulations. There's nothing comes at the back of it. It just slowly creeps, the responsibility just slowly creeps up. And at the same time, they're probably putting pressure on your performance. So they'll be analysing your performance, putting you under constant pressure, and you're just living in a wave of trying to maintain the job that you're doing without actually going anywhere above it, and the pressure just slowly creeps up. I've been there, but you're worth in that where you're thinking to yourself, there's a lot to be said about self-autonomy, working for yourself and knowing your worth, or gaining your worth. Would you say that's a kind of, I know it wasn't a great analysis there, but does that make sense to you with that?
Basically, obviously, when I was younger and I did work in these jobs, I was always more than willing to go over and beyond. Like, I remember when I worked in Greg's, somebody phoned in sick, they phoned me, I went in, no problem. I was always eager to impress, you want to build up that ladder. And then obviously, the only reason I left there was because I moved and they couldn't get me a transfer in the same position back home. So it was, I've had all these years of training wasted now. So I ended up just left, and it was more convenient for me at the time. I had to go. It was either travel up to Ayrshire every day or leave, so I did. If I hadn't been made redundant in the co-op, I probably would have still been there, because I'm pretty much a creature of habit. Once I'm in, I'm kind of like, right, okay, I kind of just stick with what I know and what I'm doing. But I think what I learned from that was definitely where I learned my self-worth, and that was purely because when the redundancies come about, I had been in there for like maybe 4 or 5 years in total. I think it was maybe 4. And there was people that had been in that shop for a lot less than that, and they were basically part-timers that were students, and they were going to leave anyway. And obviously they kind of claimed to be like, family orientated and all that. So I couldn't understand why they were making a mother of 3 redundant, but keeping on a 17-year-old that was potentially going to leave in a couple of months anyway. And from that, I think that's when I said to myself, next job you take, you're taking purely just to, pay your bills, and only give what you need to. I don't see why we should, as individuals, give more to a company that's, there is. I don't really know how I'm trying to put this across here, but I think basically what it is when you start a job, you're always really eager to give. And I kind of learned quite early on that they're not always willing to give as much back. So
totally know what you're trying to say. There's a balance in that. If there's a progression available where you can see that you're going to be earning better in the future, or there's something you're targeting, then sometimes it's warranted putting in that extra. But at other times, big organisations and other things will bleed you dry, and they'll just, and the most valuable time, really, the most valuable thing really is your time. It's worth more than anything to everybody. You can't get back that hour, but you can always find another 10 or 20 quid for somewhere. So if you're putting in your time into something which isn't going to pay financially to give you back that time in the future, then you're going in a circle, which is all just wasting your time into something. A corporation or an entity is just sucking your lifeblood, kind of thing. That's what it's at. It's a fine balance between how ambitious do you want to be sometimes and putting in effort at work. Because times, I don't know about you, Tasha, but I need to feel as if I've earned a day's living. Like I couldn't be a person that goes to work.
Really, I've got up and come out at crazy o'clock in the morning, obviously, and I like to be able to do both. But like you say, you can buy more things, you can't buy more time. And I think that's just basically what you've got to, like, I could have went to college or uni or whatever and, studied properly. And I've got young children. I didn't bring young children into the world for me to go and study and for them to be watched by other people. I want to be there to watch my children. Okay, I might make mistakes at time. I might not be the world's best parent, but I'm there. And that's all that you can kind of hope for, is that they grow up and they see you as some sort of role model. My kids are pretty into fitness. My son's definitely really into fitness, my older boy.
Cool.
My younger 2 aren't so much, but I mean, they will participate. They all do judo. Jermaine's the Scottish judo champion. He's been a taekwondo champion. So definitely, I want them to be like, right, okay, well, we do get up and we are motivated and we are doing things that are positive. And I mean, there's been times, don't get me wrong, where I've sat and I've been like, I've had enough of this, I can't keep doing this anymore. I mean, you imagine how disheartening it is when you get up out of your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and like one person turns up or 2 people turn up. And I'm not saying that it's always, amazing and you always get that same buzz. It's definitely not an excuse to give up and quit.
I think that Fit Buddy's attitude rubbed off on your kids then?
I would certainly like to hope that it has. I would like to think that, even if they get setbacks, they'll keep on going anyway, because that's what it's all about. Some of us are lucky and some of us aren't so lucky, but at the end of the day, I've never done it for any other reason than I enjoy it. I've got one woman that's came to me for the last 4 years, and when she first came, I genuinely thought on her first session, this woman is going to drop down dead. She cannot come back here. She was excessively, and I know she won't mind me saying this, she was excessively overweight. Within 6 months, she lost 6 stone.
Wow.
She's had setbacks and put on weight. She said, came back and lost it. She said another setback and she's put it back on. But in total, that's 9 stone she's lost. And you know, when people send you the pictures of their before and after, sometimes I genuinely get a tear in my eye and I think, wow, you know, like I've helped them like feel better about who they are. Because we all need a little bit of that. You know, we all need somebody that's going to say, right, well, you fell off, but you can get back on, keep going. If we all just stopped every time we felt like giving up, then, you know, we wouldn't get anything done. And I think sometimes you just need, not just me, I'm talking about us as a group, because we always have a group chat, and if anybody's feeling down or that they're falling off the wagon, you know, we'll all jump on and go, right, come on, and do it. So it's definitely all about motivating each other, encouraging each other, and wanting the other person to succeed. You know, like, if somebody turns up and they're having a rubbish night, I can normally say, like, what's wrong with you? You're not, you know.
Right.
And I'm shattered and I can't be bothered.
Are you trying to introduce like a social aspect to it as well? Have you got like WhatsApp group, or have you kind of trying to make a group where they're talking to each other?
Yeah, we do that all the time. We've always got, no matter what we're doing, we always have a group chat of everybody that's coming to whatever block,
right?
Or we're running. So if it's like morning, evening, so we've got a morning block for the morning people. That's only because one morning when my Zoom or my Google Meet didn't work, I phoned and woke everybody up. So the early starters decided, right, we'll have a private group call for that just in case it happens again. So we don't lose everyone, but we definitely, although there's only so many classes that run a week, we motivate each other 7 days a week. But you know, there's always somebody there. So you know, and the thing is, if I'm not there to answer, somebody else always will. So it's definitely, and I think a lot of the girls, some of them just come for the banter. They say it to me. They say, "I'm just here for the banter." They come for a laugh. They're here really to work out.
Right.
And the ones that, they might not get the best results, but they get uplifted, you know, so they definitely come for that. So, and I mean, this is people that I've never met apart from doing this. I've made, you know, friends with people that I had never known. I didn't know them, I would never have spoke to them. They came from a completely different walk of life from me. They're a lot older than me. Obviously Caitlin, she was a bit younger than me. But, you know, they come and that's it, you know, just you begin to connect with these, and I think it's really, really important. And I think a lot of people do this and they're in this industry purely to make a lot of money. And I'm in it because I love it, and I love how people make me feel, and I love how I can help make them feel. And I think that's definitely what it's all about. I think that's how we've got our motto is like fit buddies, loving guns, because it's about loving each other and getting fit. It's not just about, you know, one person doing better than all the rest.
That's a nice touch. That's a good touch to a kind of a fitness course or a fitness class or a place you would go. It's not something that I've really thought, you know, you would go to the class and then get to know you, and then maybe you introduce to the WhatsApp group or whatever group you said you use there. Sorry, Tasha, I missed that. But you introduce that, and then you start talking to the other people through that group, get to meet a couple of friends, and then you're starting to motivate each other because of where were you on Wednesday night kind of text, so you're right, and that sort of thing. Whereas if you're just in a gym 24/7, you're going in and out of that place yourself, hitting the buttons, and maybe if you're lucky, a trainer will come up and talk to you, or somebody will come up, but you're in and out of the place yourself, and there's totally misses that personal touch. You'll probably find that through the, you know, like your own passion as well, passionate about it. You can't buy that. You know, that's why it'll keep on going and it'll win, because that's why I think it'll be succeeding. You'll have people turning up all the time because you like it, you enjoy it.
They probably came to me and thought, this girl is an absolute nut. You know, I've had people saying to me, oh, I thought I'm never going to come back to this, she's going to kill me. What is she thinking? I've had them, you know, climbing trees at 5:30 in the morning in a back. But you know, sometimes when I can see something and I can see it my way and I can visualise and I know I can do it, then I want them to be able to experience that as well. And obviously sometimes they can't do it, but if they're willing to try, then to me, that's them telling me that, you know, they believe in me and that they'll trust me to try it. Even if it doesn't work out, they are all kind of more than willing to try. Like, you know, Yeah, we've definitely had some laughs, and that's what it's all about. Don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of people that have came and went and not came back. There's a lot of people that just kind of come to the class and they're just there for the fitness and they don't get involved as much. But that doesn't mean to say that they're not welcome to it. It might just mean that that's kind of what it is for them. It's just coming and getting to that. But like if you do come and you're looking for, socialism or a bit of friendship or whatever, then you definitely could find it. It's just, okay, it is what it is, isn't it? It's just like, when I did start out, I thought, right, okay, I'm going to start this and I'm going to, try and make it my career path and I want to make a living from it. And, it didn't work out that way, but I definitely got a lot more than what that could have bought. So
it's amazing. Tasha, is there a way people could find the class? How would they go about finding the class?
Well, I don't really use that many social media platforms. I've just stuck to the original Facebook. So obviously the page is Fit Buddies Training. It's changed because it used to be Fit Buddies Training something. I know this is terrible, but during the first lockdown, because I was doing all the workouts at home, I thought I better change the name to kind of at home, and I've not been able to change it back. So I've just stuck with that.
Right.
Natasha Fit Buddy, that's my personal page, which you could probably find the link to the Fit Buddies page.
And would the folk do just send you a message off of the messenger on Fit Buddies too?
Normally people just send me a message and then, just kind of take it from there. Or it's normally like somebody will bring their pal and my pal fancies come along and then once they came along, they'll either kind of give you the, oh no, not for me, or oh, I love that. Then you'll be like, right, welcome to the team.
Hanging off of trees at 5:30 in the morning isn't going to be for everybody, Tasha. But do you know something? It sounds like something I would love. The type of fitness you're into, it sounds like something I would enjoy. Sounds like a good laugh as well as fitness. Do you know something? I have never managed to go jogging in the morning before 9, 10 o'clock. I've never managed to get up or do any sort of exercise early in the morning. I look at people when I'm driving to work that are jogging and I just think to myself, they are psychopaths. Where do they find that energy and stuff like that? But do you know something? I want to come and I want to do pull-ups off a tree at 5:30 in the morning before I go to my work one day. That'd be cool. I'm coming along to Tasha Fit Buddies class one morning, if that's all right with you.
Then just now it's obviously evenings we're doing, so it's on Tuesday evening, and the guys are in the morning, but they are on camera, so...
right. I could cheat. I could cheat if I was in the house myself. I would half past 5 in the morning. People were doing live feeds with you at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's what we're using just now for the mornings. A Google Meet call.
Right.
So we just do it on that. That's Thursdays and Fridays.
Intense workout in the morning, 5:30. What kind of workout are you doing there?
We'll still kind of make it pretty intense. You can obviously, depending on how noisy you can be in your house, I suppose. Some of them have got kids, they might kind of not do the jumps, or you need to be a wee bit lighter on your feet, but that is the right mornings coming back in, and obviously we are kind of lifting out of lockdown, so I think just a lot of the girls just now became sort of more convenient. They can get out of their bed and they don't have to travel, or they can just turn on their phone and then there I am. Morning! I'm sure quite a lot of sometimes in the morning, because I come on, they still have to sleep in their jammies. I'm like, right guys, come on, let's go. They're like, whoa. Okay.
I love working out, but never in the mornings. I've never had the appetite for it. I don't know what it is. I just can't. But I'll need to do it one time. But I do like the idea of doing an assault course early in the morning, or doing something to, I don't know, it sounds like a good laugh before work.
There's the field anymore. The field is now gone, so that was why we had to move school and then. But that was a bit of a gutter, but it is what it is. The beauty of that was definitely just that it was like sort of, you had it was right there.
Right.
But things change, I suppose, and you've just got to kind of move with it. So,
You went and done training, Tasha. You were saying obviously it was an idea that you had, something you just enjoyed. I'm wondering to myself how much training you actually need to motivate people to get fit? You know, you need this piece of paper. It's like a motivational speaker. Does a motivational speaker actually need a psychology degree or something? But if you're motivated enough to motivate people, but I can appreciate for insurance purposes and whatever else. So, how long did it take for you to decide to do your training?
I done that quite quickly. I done that straight away, and that was just purely because I didn't want to be a one-trick pony. I wanted to be able to obviously, you know, feed right as well. And at the time, like you said, my partner was doing boxing, so he was sort of fluctuating between weight and then cutting weight. So we get quite into eating quite clean. You know, it was just good. It was good to kind of do that. I've done that. I don't know, and I've never really used it aside from obviously advising the girls, but when I was on maternity leave, I decided to get qualified, and that was in case I did want to ever go into a gym. Just to give me an option, really. It's just basically about having options that are open to me. But the thing is for me is lockdown and the gyms being closed for everybody else was an absolute nightmare. But for me, it didn't matter because I had what I had been doing all along anyway. The only thing that obviously knocked me was the speaking on the camera. I don't really like it, or I didn't really like it, and I was quite, I wasn't confident on camera, and I would, you know, watch it back 10 times and retake. So you all think I've done 10 burpees, but I've done 1,000 because I'm retaking that. And I wasn't going live, I was just recording the videos and then posting them. And then I said to myself, I'm going to have to just start doing this live, because that way if I make a mistake, I've got no option but to keep on going. And you know, the more I've done it, the more I was like, all right, okay, I'm actually not as bad as what I thought. I think I'm very, you know, self-criticising. So I'll watch something, and if I don't like the way I look, if I don't like the way I've said something, or if I don't like the way that I've demonstrated something, all these things annoy me, and then I'll go back and I'll be dead angry and frustrated with myself. And I think I've kind of learned, do you know what? I'm human, accidents happen, let it go and keep on going. I mean, there's videos where I've made mistake after mistake, and I've just been like, right, just keep on going. And you know, nobody else would probably notice, but I noticed because it's my mistake, you know. So then I'll just sit up, well, if I come on camera and I make a bit of a mistake, I just normally laugh it off. They all get some laugh at me in the morning, and that's what it's about. I'm not perfect, and I am what I am. I can't come on and be somebody who I'm not. You know, I could have tried that. I think to begin with, I was kind of trying that. That's why I was like, oh, I'll just record and then post it. But, you know, it didn't feel right, and it's not real if you're doing that. It's like when you post a picture of yourself on Facebook with your makeup all on, and then you get up the next day with your makeup on and you look like a completely different person, you know. We are just all real human beings, and we all just need to accept that that's it.
I think that's maybe why I enjoy the podcasts, because it's like unscripted. It's not unedited. You get to see all the mistakes, all the flaws. You get to see a full unedited conversation of somebody's thoughts where they make their. Whereas if you see it on TV, you see edited sound bites. Sharp, everything's perfect online. You don't get to see anybody's flaws or anything like that. I think don't know if that's a good analogy for that or no, to be honest with you. But I'm going to look back into this. So if I'll just go into final notes then, Tasha, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're still at your work. Best advice for somebody starting off in a fitness class?
Turn up. Because actually, when I say, if you're sitting at home feeling like you can't do it, you're too nervous to do it, or you've not got the confidence to do it, by the time you get there, you'll find that most people that are now already there have felt the exact same way. I think a lot of people don't understand how beneficial the exercise is for your mental health. And I think a lot of people need to, you know, if they could grasp that, then they might feel better. So, you know, like, if you are feeling down, or if you are feeling low, you know, go a walk, go a jog, go a run, come to an exercise class, you know, you'll notice that you definitely feel a lot better. I just feel like it's just definitely something that, you know, if you're feeling unfit, or a lot of people obviously don't feel comfortable enough to come to classes, and I completely understand that. They're totally out of their comfort zone, but like once you get there after 5 minutes, you're in. You know, everybody's, you know, that's it. You're always going to get taken care of. Well, I don't know if you get taken care of everywhere you go, but you know, we'll all definitely take care of you.
It's the first step out the door is the hardest sometimes with these things, whether it's starting something or going and joining a class or trying to build something. Often it's the first initial step. Once you get into the classes, you realise it's all good, and so I've found anyway. If you could go back to your 14 or 15-year-old self, Tasha, what advice would you give yourself in relation to business and company?
I would probably have said to myself, definitely stick in at school a little bit harder than what I did. Although PE was the only higher I got, I would definitely have went straight to college rather than going out and wanting to make money. Because I literally was like, I'll get a job to make money so that I could obviously live, rather than sticking in at school or going on to college, which I probably should have done. Because now I do kick myself. Have a bit more self-belief, because that is what holds you back. You hold yourself back, and if you want, I don't know, like just, you know, but to be honest, I wouldn't change any of it, because no matter what job I've had, or you know, I've had my 4 kids, I love them to bits, and I'm still doing this, and the amount of fun I have had has, you know, been worth it. If it all ended tomorrow, I wouldn't try because it was over this time, because it happens. So I definitely have had the best past years, and you know, I just hope we keep going. And that's the way.
I'm sure as well. I'm going to come along. I'm going to bring somebody with me. I've decided I'm 100% coming. When's the next class available that I could make? As soon as you've came on my podcast, I need to come along for a good crack.
Things coming tomorrow night.
What time?
Coming here, 7 8.
Cool. I'll try and pick up my wee sister and then make it down there. Go easy on me.
Stop Laney.
Tasha, thanks very much for doing this. Coming on and doing our podcast. Really appreciate it, especially as you're taking time out of your work as well. And I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm going to try my best to make it. So I'll not keep you any longer. Thanks very much.